So, look what I've done. So yeah, I got a disc brake on my micro Pedalflow. So this disc brake comes from a child's bike that I bought from China, which is ridiculously overspec bike for a 3-year-old with, dual disc brakes. What's good about this one is the rotor is small, much like a scooter rotor. So not much over 100 mil, I think. And if you look, that divot for the coaster brake arm, the clearance is under 1 mil, so it's just kind of perfect. Didn't have to cut that, which I really didn't want to do. So, and potentially I could revert this back to the coaster brake. Not that I'd want to, because that thing was just ridiculous. And now look, it actually pedals backwards. Actually, it's going to be difficult to demonstrate this because I'm holding the phone and I'm using the pedal as a... But look, it actually pedals back. I've got a freewheel. Fantastic. So yeah, as far as the disc brake attachment is concerned, I've got a generic Amazon eBay style adapter here. It's connected to the spindle, and I've got a cable tie there. Now, that I know people will be thinking, yeah mate, you're going to die, or it's going to fail, and it might do. However, I've just been whizzing around the flat on this thing. I've just literally not finished building it just an hour or so ago, and it just feels super sturdy. And of course, when you brake moving forwards, it's pushing down on here anyway. This makes up with this, so if I was going backwards and broke, it would pull on it. So the tensile strength would be tested. But here, it's just literally keeping it in place. But it even works when it's not there, to be honest, because when I brake, as I say, it pushes against this. So it feels incredibly sturdy, and this is quite a thick industrial grade cable tie. It's not like the typical ones you get. It's actually quite good. However, what I think I'll go for is some kind of, I don't know, I might use a torque arm and bolt it on the sort of curved part and then paint it black. Or if I can get some kind of micro Jubilee clip, if there is such a thing. If you know about things like that, please drop it a comment down below and I'll be very grateful. Yeah, so really pleased with this. I've got these cable management clips from eBay. Again, they're really good. I think it looks pretty okay. Waiting for them to cure. That one's a bit flexible, but should be alright. And I've got this little arrangement here where I've got one of them and I've added a little cable tie. It just keeps it from touching the bike and gives it some freedom as well. I'll get a bit closer so you can see what I've done with that. But, so you've got the cable tidy thing there. And what I've done is I've just attached a small cable tie on there, and it just means it can move. It's got good freedom of movement, but it never actually makes contact with the paint, so it won't foul it. I also had a loop in here, but I decided to take it off through there, a little cable tie, but it doesn't really need it. So yeah, there it is. I've got one brake at the moment. I do have another brake and another lever, etc. But I quite like the simple look. One of the things I wanted to do with this, because I'm not going to be using it for anything serious. I'm not going to be doing any kind of downhill or jumps or anything on it or anything fast. It's just a commuter's thing really, and just a bit of fun. So I wanted to keep the aesthetic because it's got a nice clean look to it, and enhance it to some degree if I could. So yeah, I'm really pleased with it. And I'll give you some updates. I'll try and get a video of me riding it so you can see how ridiculous I really am. Because I'm 6'1" and this thing is about 1 inch long. However, I have to say it handles really well. I'll give you a closer look of the wheel that came with the child's bike. It is actually very similar to these wheels in that it has its tri-spokes and they're drilled out, not drilled out, they're cut out in the middle. So from a distance, or if you don't look closely, you actually read them as the same wheel. However, this one has far less material on it. It's very thin and blade-like, and I know it looks very flimsy. However, it feels really strong. So, and it felt about half the weight of the coaster brake, even with the disc on it and everything. So I've definitely saved some weight there. And I thought this arrangement at the front might be a bit lighter, but actually I think it might be marginally heavier. So I think overall it's probably down to about the same weight as the original, if not maybe lighter. I just think it looks a lot better, and it's just so much more usable. Yeah, it's the kind of thing that I would be comfortable riding for as long as I wanted, really, as opposed to what it was like before, where it didn't really feel great. And those bars, I'm so glad I got rid of those. Anyway, I've waffled on, but there it is. My micro Pedalflow Changeling. Yeah, I would really like to know if anybody else has done anything this kind of comprehensive in terms of changing, you know, and to some extent re-engineering this thing, you know, this micro Pedalflow. In particular, I don't think I've seen anybody who's got rid of the, from my point of view anyway, not very good pedal back coaster brake. That was really hamstrung this bike. I thought it was a real, it was kind of a, if I couldn't get rid of that, it would have been a deal breaker for me. So I'm really happy that it was actually quite straightforward to get a disc brake on this. I'm still in two minds about whether or not to put one on the front. I really do like the simplicity of the look with this, and you know, I don't really think I need a front brake, but originally it only came with a rear brake anyway. But if I do, I'll do another video